Uh, alright. So, today we're gonna be spring running some Mr. Spring 3D Level 2. This is in celebration of the fact that Mr. Spring 2D is gonna be getting, the third update to it pretty soon. So I thought I'd just spring run some of this and try to beat my current world record on Level 2. We'll see how it goes. So, there's a lot of different strategies that come with this game. Probably the most primary one is just that you want to be low to the ground to try to jump as far as possible, and I am not going well already. My current world record on this level is 21 seconds, which, look, I don't know if I'm going to be able to beat it. Probably won't be able to beat it today, if at all, but we'll see. This level is way better than level 1. I just want to say that. And if you want to get it, by the way, there's a link to it on my YouTube channel. I did not make it, but the person who did make it I do know, and they are very good game developer, so I would recommend checking it out. Just here, I want to try and get through this wind section without slowing down as much as possible, but I still want to be able to slow down a bit so my momentum doesn't carry on the ice too much. The ice is probably the most difficult part of this entire stage. What I'm trying to do at the moment is I think the best way that I could beat my current record is if I could jump from that purple bouncy block straight to the exit, which is up on the top left. We'll see. It's gonna be a very difficult jump, so I have no idea if I'll be able to make it. You will see that I'm gonna restart a lot. That's just because you need to be perfect before you start to get the perfect momentum. Everything's got to be done just right. Okay, this is pretty good. Not quite what I wanted, but yeah. That's the other annoying part, is the moving blocks. You gotta make sure that it's a bit of luck added because of that. Since I'm pretty sure the blocks carry on from your previous restart, it's not a set thing. Could be wrong on that though, I'm not certain. The red flags that you see are checkpoints, but you don't really need to use any of them if you're speedrunning, because they just slow you down, really. They just make it so if you die, you restart there, but that invalidates the entire speedrun, and it doesn't reset your timer. So it's just really hard to slow down before that one turn, which is... I mean, turning is what makes this game difficult. Turning and just getting the right angles. It's all about angles, really. Okay. I don't know how entertaining of a stream this will be to watch. Certainly not as entertaining as, well, hopefully entertaining as the Hitman ones were, but we'll see. Also, does my mic sound alright? Because I've just been fiddling with good angles, and I'm not sure if my mic's too loud like this. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you can always just turn the volume down, and I don't think it's breaking it or anything. I've been doing a lot of testing, but we'll see. Breaking the 20-second barrier is gonna be really hard, but I really want to. Yeah, I retired from speedrunning this game for, I think, a few months, honestly, but I wanna get back into it, because I can do this, I think. Also wondering what the best way to turn here in the wind would be. Do I want to turn facing left or right? I don't know. And also, were there any super jumps could help me, which is where you angle yourself down, and it's very hard to do. You need really perfect timing. Yeah, but you do that, and it does a really large jump. That's really hard to do from a normal jump. It's easiest to do at the start or from another super jump. However, I've tried, and super jumping at the start really does not save you very much time at all, because it doesn't give you the speed you want. So, I don't know. And the other thing would be jumping off the sides of platforms, which, like, that could be useful, because that can get you a lot of momentum if you do it really, really well. But it's just so risky and very, like, very challenging. So, I don't know. We'll see. At the moment, I think I'm just going to try and play it simple. Just try to jump from the purple to the end. That should save me enough time to make it at least 20 seconds, which would be beating my current record by a second. So we'll see. Another thing to note is that the timer down here is actually about half a second fast. When you actually beat the level, it shows you the correct time, but the timer at the bottom isn't totally accurate. I have to be really careful not to accidentally hit rage quit and always just hit restart, because rage quitting gets you straight back to the desktop. The reason I haven't streamed much recently is because I've been working on making a new VTuber model, so I'm not just using Toho ones. I was thinking about making it my little stick figure character, because, I mean, that just makes sense to me. It fits my character. Works. But it's very hard to make it expressive, so I've been trying really hard to make that work and be expressive, but I don't know. I might have to make something else, but then I don't know what else I could make. Like, what fits me? I don't know. It's a bit of a predicament, but we'll see. Yeah, no, this isn't the world record time. Look at that. 24. Not very good at all. We'll see. So before my previous world record, I didn't do that big jump. I just kind of made it up to that platform. And I think if I angle myself really well, I could probably hit 20 seconds while doing that. But I'm not sure. We'll have to see. Also, I hope that my actual, like, Cherno VTuber model looks alright, because I was doing some filling with it, and the blinking, I was kind of struggling to get the blinking working correctly, but we'll see. And sorry about my pointer being very obviously on screen. To be able to hit those restarts, I kind of have to have it on screen. Otherwise, I lose a lot of time. Another thing that I could utilize is that if you restart the moment you hit the ground, you can carry the momentum of that restart. I don't know if you can do that with a hard restart, though. I think you can only do it with a soft restart, which means it doesn't have very much utility. Like, I can just kind of do that and it's not really worth it. If I could do it with a hard restart, then it definitely would be worth it. But I don't know if that's possible. I've been trying a lot to make that work, but, I mean, it's just such a hard thing to time, and you don't know whether you're doing it right or not. So, yeah, I'm really not sure. And with a hard restart, it does kind of, like, reset everything, so I don't think it would work. But, again, I don't really know. So I'll have to be looking into that. Also, sorry about the less than ideal frame rate. I might get a better computer later on. I don't know. If this streaming thing actually works out, we'll see. Oh, okay. Something I'm really not sure about is how the purple block actually works. Which might sound weird. It bounces you upwards, obviously. But I don't know, it's like, when I hit it, it feels like it's very inconsistent how high it bounces me. I don't know if that has to do with the angle, or whether it's a like RNG-based system. The creator is an open source game, so if someone could actually look in the code and work that out for me, that'd be great. But, yeah, I don't know, because I'm not used to using Unity, which is what this was built on. So I have no idea. Oh. If there was a way to, like, make certain exactly where the movable blocks are going to be, that'd be really useful. But I know that might be difficult. And the other thing would be trying to get a super jump somewhere, but that's just so hard to pull off. Like, I really wouldn't be able to do it on the ice. It would be way too hard, and then the only other place I could do it is... I wouldn't be able to do it in the wind either, that'd be way too hard. So then, the only other place would be that little grassy patch there. But that'd be just so hard to time, and I don't even think it would save you that much. If at all, because it basically cancels out all of your momentum. I might be able to skip over, like, these two platforms and go straight to the third ice platform. But I don't know if that's worth it, since you get past those two platforms really fast anyway, given the amount of speed that you get from being on ice. Ice is very slippery. So yeah, I really don't know. And I'm not good enough at this game to be able to consistently super jump, so it'd be very difficult. And super jumps are even harder to do when you're going from a very close to the ground, because you gotta do a full rotation. So I honestly don't even know whether it would be possible. Like, I think the only place I can really consistently, well, half consistently anyway, make that quarter consistently do it, is that starting area, and you start from a full upright, and there's no interference at all, and you have no momentum that's carrying. So unless I could, like, do multiple super jumps out of super jumps, but that sounds incredibly painful. Like, you'd have to do at least 3 to make it worthwhile. And super jumps can be difficult to angle as well, just given how you do them with going into the ground and clipping into it twice. And with the wind. Yeah, I really don't know if it would be worth it at all. I guess it wouldn't. It could be kind of useful for making it so you approach the ice without too heavy momentum, maybe. But even then, it doesn't really let you angle yourself very well, so even that might not be worth it. It's a very difficult task. Difficult task for a difficult game. Oh, way too far. Not worth it. One time I was practicing this level, and I don't know how I did it, but somehow I managed to bounce off of there onto this wall, and then the mix of the wind, the momentum, and some carrying on from the ice momentum, and then I skyrocketed all the way over there, meaning I got there in 8 seconds, which, that's really, really good, but I haven't been able to replicate it, and I don't know if I would be able to replicate it. Like, it was very much a roll of the dice, pure chance. Fuck. Oh god. Not going well. So I've dedicated a lot of hours into this game, probably maybe I'm just thinking about all the recordings and stuff I've made. Level 2 and level 1, it's got to have been like 60 hours dedicated, so probably like 40 hours into level 2. Or maybe 70. 40 hours level 2, 30 hours into level 1. Which, I mean, needless to say, that's a lot of hours into a game which, for a normal player, like, takes maybe 2 hours to beat. And for a player who's used to it, takes like 2 minutes to beat. You know, it took me a long time to get used to the actual physics of Mr. Spring 3D. Like, I'd say probably the first like 10 hours or something, I couldn't even beat level 1, which I was very slow to get used to it. Most people could do that a lot better than I could, but that's just how it goes. I'm not that much of a gamer. I mean, I play games, but I'm not very good at them. And it takes me a long time to actually get used to things. Maybe I should do some practicing, some like practice warm-ups on level 1. Just to refine my skill. That makes sense. Level 1. I have been thinking about utilizing... It'd be so hard. But 3 super jumps? I think if I could pull off 3 super jumps in level 1, that would be... It would be insane. Like, but it could, hypothetically, make me beat my 15-second record on this one. Which, needless to say, that would be a tremendous occasion. And I can do super jumps a lot more consistently on this one. This level. Though, not having any shadows in this level does make it a bit harder to judge my depth. Wow, the lag is screwing me over. Normally the lag helps me do super jumps, not this. Yeah, I don't know why it's gone so laggy all of a sudden. I'm restarting too fast. I'm continually reloading, deloading, and reloading everything. I'm so used to doing level 2, where I can have such like a good grasp of my distance from the ground, thanks to the really helpful inclusion of shadows. Where in this level there aren't any shadows, because it was earlier build, no shadows were implemented yet. I do kind of wish that the creator of the game would go back and add the shadows back in. But, I don't know. It might be a big ask. I don't know how complicated the shadow code is, or whether it's particularly dependent on level 2's geometry. That was 2 super jumps, that was good. If I can just do a third one of those, then I've like 100% got a new world record. But, I also actually have to angle all 3 correctly, which, I mean, that's a hard task. Okay, I do just have bad depth perception normally, so that could be part of it, but just knowing how far away from the ground I am, I'm really struggling with in this level. I really do just like rely on the shadows of level 2 for most depth checking. And to be able to properly do a super jump, you need to be really familiar with your depth. Okay. Just the second one. Doing 2 of those in a row just... Oh. I mean 3, but the first one's certainly not easy, but it's the easiest of the 3. Which is kind of annoying, since that's the one that's most easy to retry. But they just... And the second one's on the same level, also making it a bit easier. The third one is going to be the hardest one to do by far. Which is why I've never been able to pull it off. Maybe never will, we'll see. by the end of the stream, I want to have accomplished something. If not a world record, I just want to have found something. That means I'll feel a little happier in the future. I feel like the geometry for this level doesn't quite line up with how it looks. I feel like the ground looks lower than it is. Is that just me? Am I just going blind? I don't know. That felt like it could have been one. Such. I completely found out like about super jumps by accident. I was just messing around, seeing what I could do in level 1. I actually think I found out about super jumps before I actually could beat the level normally. Because I was just goofing off thinking, alright, this level's really hard, I'm never going to be able to beat this. I'm just going to jump around in that first platform. But then no. I was just jumping around and then holding backwards and then what? I did 2 jumps? How could this be? And then I found out that at the time when I was doing it, I was downloading something in the background, meaning I had a lot of lag. And then I found out that if you hold back, do a very precise little turn as you hit the ground, have a lot of luck and a lot of lag, you can pull it off, which is why I'm not really trying to do anything to stop the lag that's happening at the moment. It might make a less enjoyable stream, but it makes my job a lot easier. Lag is a very useful tool in this game. Normally, most games want to try and avoid lag for speedrunning. But in Mr. Spring 3D, you need that lag. It's like the opposite of the looking down in GoldenEye. You want to try and make sure that you see everything, and then you are overloaded. You're overloading your computer with information. Which is why it's probably a good thing that, this game isn't very well optimized. Don't tell the creators I said that. These jumps. They're so, like... They're very annoying. Oh, second. I was completely misaligned with the third block, that's fine. This is probably like the worst game I could be playing as someone who has 0 depth perception. What do you think of my cursor, by the way? I like it. Little Suiko dancing along to the music. I did not think I made that one. I wonder if there'd be any advantage to pausing to... Would that help me time them? Maybe. Because if I get upright, I might be able to time it better. Because I kind of know the timing from just the starting distance from the ground. I don't know if it'd be worth it. Okay. Oh, that's so annoying. Oh my god. The other thing I have to be careful about is I'm not actually sure how high up the win box is. So I could just completely go over the winning box, which, regardless to say, that would suck. That would suck so much. Okay. Alright. We're gaming. I must say, like, the biggest skill that comes with speedrunning this game isn't really anything to do with the angles or momentum or understanding springs. It's just getting used to hitting escape a lot. It's just restart after restart after restart. That's all there really is. I think anyone can speedrun this game. I'm not special. I'm not very good at Mr. Spring 3D, I think. I think it's just that I have a lot of patience when it comes to this very silly game. I've heard other people talk about how when they see Mr. Spring's face, they just want to punch it. But with me, I love it. That's the one thing that's gotten me these world records. It's just that I have a lot of time and not much to do in that time, and a whole lot of respect for this little spring. Okay, very misaligned. I actually think I'm more consistent with that second super jump rather than my first one, which I don't really get since I get a lot more chances to practice this first one. A little bit too many chances, honestly. Okay. Nope. Okay. Nope. I might make like a highlights of this and put it on my YouTube channel. I don't know, I think that could be fun. I quite like editing things. It's probably my favorite part of the little amount of YouTube that I have done. Recording things and coming up with things to say, you know, it's not my favorite. I just really like editing, which seems to be the opposite of every other YouTuber I've talked to. I don't really understand why. Editing's fun. Twitch is pretty good. I mean, you can't edit on it, but it is nice to just be able to, like, play a game, do something that you're already gonna do, and just, you know, maybe bring some, enjoyment to other people while you do it. I've been really getting into a lot of really small Twitch channels. I don't really watch many of the big ones. But really small ones where I'm like the only, or you know, maybe one other person in chat. That's pretty good. Just getting like see someone do something they enjoy and talk to them while they do it. It's nice. I think it's probably what inspired me to do Twitch. I've seen a few different channels kind of blow up. That's always a good feeling too. To know that you kind of been there from the start. I don't expect this channel to ever blow up. It's not really my goal with it, honestly. I just kind of want to make some people happy. I don't want to be Twitch famous, particularly. I mean, if the opportunity fell into my hands, I'd take it. But that's not the goal. The goal is to get sub 20 in level 2, sub 15 in this level. I really think 3 super jumps are the way to go. In this level, anyway. Maybe not level 2. I feel like super jumps really aren't worth it in level 2. Prove me wrong. But with this level, I feel like super jumps are your friend. Level 2, they're just a little hindrance that occasionally will come across when trying new angles. That's one of the other things I noticed. When you angle yourself like really level to the ground backwards, you have more jump control, but you're a lot slower. But when you do it forwards, you have a lot less jump control, but you're a lot faster. Well, not necessarily faster, but you gain momentum a lot more. But that means that you have a lot less jump control. Like, you go flying off edges. Okay, okay. Alright. I don't think I have too much trouble coming up with just things to say, but sometimes with games like this where it's just highly repetitive, there's not really much. It's a very limited number of things I can say about Mr. Spring 3D. I actually tried to make a Wikipedia article about it, but they turned it down for not being notable enough, whatever that means. I think Mr. Spring 3D is plenty notable. I don't really get Wikipedia's guidelines. Like, you see articles on, like, a box or something, or toilet paper orientation, and that's a no. But a game that's, like, brought happiness to a lot of people, that's no. While toilet paper orientation is like, sure, that's notable. I don't know. There was that one guy on Wikipedia who got, like, banned from, like, banned from Wikipedia for just creating multiple, like, links that could lead to things that often had dirty connotations. I never really got that. Like, sure, it's a bit weird, but it wasn't actually doing any harm. If anything, it was slightly helping the platform. I don't know. So I find the process of making, like, a new wiki article is unnecessarily complicated. Like, why can't they just have a button, you know? Make your own article. Why do you need to, like, sublink something that doesn't exist? And then, only then, can you make an article, by already having it referenced in another article before it even exists. It's just very annoying. Why don't they just make it like Urban Dictionary, you know? Wikipedia, just Urban Dictionary, but you can have more facts in it. And with higher moderation. I also never get to people who are like, you can't trust everything on Wikipedia. Like, sure, you can't trust everything, but if something's important from Wikipedia, it's like sourced by 50 sources down the bottom. I think people just need to get better at checking sources. Because Wikipedia is a highly valuable tool. Like, highly valuable when you want information on things. Because it has a lot of information from a lot of different sources about a lot of different topics. If you just know how to, like, check the sources of something, Wikipedia is like a hub of information. So you're writing like a, I don't know, documentary on praying mantises. If you go like Wikipedia/praying mantis, you have a lot of information, and then each information has a little number next to it, and you click on that number and it goes to where it comes from. And you can check, is this reliable? And if it's reliable, you're okay, alright, I can use this information. And you can check out that source even further, see if it has any more information you want. Just a very, very useful. What just happened? Did I just do a second super jump out of just a... What the fuck? What? 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 Oh my god. Oh my god. And I did it twice in a row? What the what? Holy shit. That's actually insane. That's insane. Oh my god. Oh my god. Hmm. That's the annoying part. If you only make 2 of the super jumps, even if you land on the right platform, but fail the 3rd super jump, it's like really bad just because it cuts off all of your momentum and puts you in a position you really don't want to be in. Meaning it feels like you're close to the end, but you're just not at all. It's basically, you should just restart. I do not know how I managed to do those super jumps out of a... Oh my god, that's actually... Okay. That's pretty cool. That... I don't know if I can really utilize that much, just because I'm trying, and I'm not making it happen again. But... I mean, it's a nice... Okay, I take that back. I can utilize this. Alright, so if... So you start... You're bouncing behind. Wait a minute. How difficult is this? Because if that's... That could completely revolutionize the way that every level is played. Like that could let you do a super jump after you get off the ice things in level 2. Which would mean that you can just not even have to use the purple bouncy platform. Which could save you a lot of time. Like, the purple bouncy platform really, like, slows you down. And it makes it very hard to be able to angle yourself correctly. That's okay. That's pretty insane. I'm not gonna lie. Oh my god. That's just frankly incredible. Alright. Alright. That's actually... that has such utility. Like, I find things and I'm like, could this have utility? I don't know. You know, like being able to keep your momentum after restarting if you perfectly time it. But that's the first thing where I've been like, okay, this has utility. This has a lot of utility. To the point where like this could change the game. I haven't felt like this since I found super jumping in the first place. That's... Yeah, no, that's important. I'm calling it now. This is gonna change everything. In a good way. It's also... It's gonna raise the skill ceiling a bit. Because it is very difficult to do. I wonder if it's just because of how much lag I have. I mean, it's no secret that the worse your PC, the better your Mr. Spring jumping is going to be. Super jumping, I'm sorry. Getting my terms mixed up. This is... Alright. Restart. Jump. Jump. I'm getting better at that first super jump, I think. Because you can actually... Oh, that means that, like, even if you fail angling your first super jump and you end up at the wrong corner, like the opposite corner of this platform, you can still save it. That's good. Yeah, that's very good. Okay, sorry that I'm rambling on about this. Very good feature. I wonder if this has any utility. Like, how would that affect the timer if I just continually pause and unpause? Oh, epilepsy warning. I've never actually met an epileptic person. You hear about it in media a lot, and there's a lot of warnings for them. Never met someone with epilepsy. I know, that I know of. Maybe some people do, and I just haven't noticed. I'd hope not, because flashing colors and changing images very rapidly is kind of my jam. I could have given a lot of people seizures without knowing it. Bounce. Jump. Bounce. I guess it's more bouncing rather than jumping, eh? Because it's not like Mr. Spring has legs. It's a spring. Then again, it doesn't really work like a spring. You land on your side and you just bounce from your side. I don't know. Do springs even bounce much? Like... Okay, yes they do. Sorry, for a split second there I was being dumb and thinking of slinkies. Slinkies don't bounce, they fold. Someone should make a game about you know, someone should make a game about slinkies. A lot of stuff about springs, but no slinky. I showed that there's another indie game, also called Mr. Spring, that's also a 3D platformer. Which is kind of funny. I haven't played it. Maybe I will one time. I think it's on itch.io. Itch.io seems like a really good platform for indie devs. Like, feels like you can kind of have any game on there. In a good way. Let's go! 11 seconds. Is that a new best? I genuinely do not know. It might be. I don't remember. Oh, that was a good run though. I mean, whether or not that was a new best, that was a good run. It obviously says new best, but I recently reset all my data on it, so I can make my YouTube video easier. So it might not be my new best. We'll have to see. I'm just checking now. I should really remember my record. I remember that it's 21 seconds for level 2, but level 1 I forgot. Yeah. Sorry it's taking so long to check, my computer really is lagging. As I want it to, but you know. That's one of the trials and tribulations that come with Mr. Spring 3D Springrunning. That's probably going to be one of my past accomplishments. Not getting the Mr. Spring world record, but coming up with the term Springrunning. I don't think there's ever been a better term. Alright. Level 1. "13 seconds. I wasn't expecting to get a record live on stream. That's... Oh, I'm very happy. That's good. Yeah, that's very good. I'm very happy about that. Oh, man. Oh, that's wonderful. That's really, really wonderful. 11 seconds. I just realized that the timer at the bottom doesn't actually show up. It's blocked by my channel avatar. I should probably fix that, but I can't be bothered to, honestly. Alright, we're gonna still try to get that 3 super jumps though, because 3 super jumps, that'll still save time. That'll definitely still save time. Okay. Alright. Let's go for it. It's lagging slightly less, which... good for stream, but... not good for super jumping. There we go. Alright. Alright. Okay, okay. Wasn't expecting to get a level 1 world record today. That was... I came into this thinking, alright, we're just gonna grind out level 2. Maybe save a second, if we're really lucky. I didn't think I would save 2 seconds, double that, on level 1. I thought I'd, like, ultra-optimize level 1 at this point. I mean, that goes to show that Mr. Spring, you can always go up with Mr. Spring. He's a spring, he bounces. He goes up. That's his whole jig. But then he comes back down. I don't know what that represents. I'm hoping I'm not going to start coming back down and never getting a world record again or something. That won't be... that'd be less than ideal. We'll see. Boing. I really need to get better at super jumping. 'Cause that's like... that's the tech that's like entirely all level 1 relies on. I'm hoping I'll find a new tech that'll help me in level 2, because at the moment there really isn't any. It's just pure skill, which some people will prefer, but for a very unskilled person like myself, I'd prefer some kind of tech that'll just let me win. Just that maybe a bad speedrunner. Maybe. We're not going to think too much about it. Alright, boing. We can do this. We can do this. Oh, sorry, I'm still just like running on the adrenaline. Oh, the lag's back. You want to hit that like middle ground with lag for speedrunning. You don't want it to be like so laggy that you can't control yourself, but you also don't want it to be too smooth that you can't glitch into geometry and stuff. That can be hard to do. Normally I just like get something downloading in the background, which means I have a lot of unnecessary stuff that just keeps getting installed and uninstalled continually. The person assigned to like watch my account action on Steam is very confused. Alright. Boing. Okay. We can do this. Wonder if I'll ever do a face reveal one day. That'd be kind of interesting. I'm not particularly ashamed of my face or anything, I just like... Don't say a reason to show it, you know? I've heard it doesn't align with my voice, so... Might be a bit of a surprise, who knows? Okay. Boing boing. Jump, jump. 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 Okay, no jump. That actually felt like it was like a very tiny super jump. Somehow. Okay, okay. We bouncing. Alright. Big jump, big jump. I'm becoming less consistent with this second super jump. I think it's probably the lack of lag. I don't know. Alright, bounce, bounce. Okay, I think I might take a quick break just to flex my fingers for a second. Oh, this is a complicated game. I mean, it's like such a simple game, but it's complicated in a way. In a very weird, wacky way. Okay. Honestly, who needs breaks when we can have Mr. Spring? That third super jump, it's... I just restart on a super jump. I'm so used to just continually hitting restart. That third super jump, that's what it entirely relies on. I don't know if I'll be able to get it. I probably won't be able to get it by the end of the stream today. But also, I didn't think I'd be getting a world record by the end of stream today, and I mean, we got it 11 seconds. Alright. I still wanna see how I could utilize that, like, the normal bounce into super jump thing. Because that could be incredibly useful for later on. I don't know. Alright. Oh, I'm so used to hitting restart that I keep restarting when I really should not. Okay. I just bounced backwards into a... How? I didn't know that you could do that. I didn't think the angles and the length of Mr. Spring would allow that, but... I mean, a lot of the stuff in this game doesn't make any sense. I'm gonna be honest. The lag spiking again. I need to hit that middle ground. It's so hard to hit. Okay. Here we go. We can do this. This game, it's erasing my mind and soul. I wonder if Mr. Spring has a soul. Is he an object, or is he alive? He doesn't blink. He doesn't open or close his mouth. But, and he is a spring. Like, we can... What would, like, skeletal anatomy of Mr. Spring look like? Why am I thinking about this? Like, this is something that shouldn't be thought about. But, like, I feel like a brain couldn't fit in there. Like, there's no bulge large enough for a brain to actually go in there. So is he just like an object? Is he just an object puppeteered by a player? That feels weird. Okay. I reckon we'll be able to do this eventually. Sorry if my clicking's too loud. I've been practicing with this mic, trying to get it right for ages. It's complicated. I thought that once I got a Blue Yeti it'd be easy. It is not. Okay. Jump. Bounce. I wonder if I should start calling this Super Bounce rather than the Super Jump. Because if Mr. Spring is just an object puppeteered by a player, and doesn't have legs, it does feel more like a bounce than a jump. I don't think... I feel like you... What? What happened there? What? Did I just super jump backwards? Like out of... What the... Okay. Okay. That's a... I didn't mean to do that, and that is... Okay. Yeah, alright. I'm gonna take a breather there, because that is... insane. That is a tech I never thought would be possible. Alright. So... That's utilizing the strategy, but... That is utilizing the strategy in a very weird way. I've never been able to do these. How have I done, like, 5 of them in this one stream? Just the power of streaming, I suppose. Okay. Okay. It feels very inconsistent how much Mr. Spring can move while in air, like left and right. Alright. We bouncing. So, I haven't been able to make that third super jump yet, and I don't know if I'll be able to. It'll definitely be faster, but I don't know. It's gonna take a lot of time, but at the same time, just doing a single super jump used to take me like 10 minutes, rather than now where it takes like a minute. And doing a second super jump used to take me like an hour, but now it takes me 10 minutes. One day I'll be able to do them consistently, ideally. We'll see though. Okay. Straight into the abyss. I've been rethinking how super jumps work. Because I always kind of pictures clipping into the geometry and jumping, that making that you jump twice, and the momentum of those jumps kind of multiplies together. But I've been thinking, maybe it's actually both ends of the spring. hitting the ground at the same time. Because that would kind of make more sense with the whole lag aspect. I don't know. Because I'm kind of thinking that, because I did do that kind of bounce back into a super jump, and if we're just clipping into the geometry, that wouldn't really make sense. It makes more sense that it's like the leftover power from one jump carries over into the next one. But equally, I don't understand. That feels like something that would have to be intentionally put into the code. That doesn't feel like... Oh, actually, maybe not, because it could have to do with how momentum works. Because if you immediately jump again, you get like all of the power of that initial hit of momentum, plus the new hit of momentum, meaning you get a lot of momentum. And I mean, momentum and angles are the two things that this entire game relies upon. So that could make sense to a degree. More sense than clipping into the geometry anyhow. But it does feel like a very extreme reaction. And equally, not always does it look like it could be. Both ends of the spring touching the ground. So I don't know. So it feels like it works more when I move a bit. Like move left and right a bit as I fall. But... Oh! That was a big jump. Wow. I don't actually think I've done a super jump that big before. Alright. Okay. That's the other thing that doesn't really make sense, how inconsistent. Like, that's something that makes me feel like it's not just clipping into geometry, it's how inconsistent the power and distance gained from super jump is. I don't know, I'm just spitballing. I don't really... I feel like if I know how it works, though, I could be able to utilize it in more ways, like find other ways, like, oh, if I do it on the side of an object, it'll give me even more speed or something like that. Rather than just having to spend all this time just doing very random experimentation to find new features. The other thing I want to try is doing a super jump and also hitting restart, meaning I carry the momentum over. Because I don't know how... Would I carry the momentum from the super jump or just from like one jump? I don't know. And that's such a hard thing to test because I don't know if I've got a super jump until I'm already in the air. So I don't know if that'd actually be feasible. The only way that I would be able to test that if it does carry over the entire power of the super jump when you hit restart, which... I don't know, that sounds kind of unlikely to me, just given off both theories of how super jumps work. It doesn't really make sense that it would carry over all that. Then again, it does carry your angular momentum as well. I don't know. It's a complicated question. Alright. I might take a stream break in a little bit. Not too long from now. I'll leave the VOD up of this stream, in case people want to see it for, you know, helping theirs. I just remember that I was doing this to practice for level 2. I'm gonna go back to level 2. For the final 5 minutes. 5 minutes of streaming. I'll practice some level 2 stuff. Because if I could nail a second super jump in level 2, would that actually help me? Because with how super jumps work, the momentum, you lose a lot of momentum, but with how level 2 is structured, that could be a good thing. And I wouldn't know how that would interact with wind. If you do a super jump with wind angling you to the right, how much is that gonna carry over? Okay. Okay, super jumps in level 2 are valid. Okay. It definitely carries over. That's a big jump. That's a big jump. I'm gonna have to do a lot more speedrunning streams in the future because for some reason I'm having a lot more luck finding stuff when I'm streaming. Because if you could jump all the way to that ice platform, how much momentum carries over? Because if it's not a lot, that's honestly a good thing. Because then you can use that to go straight to the purple platform without needing to completely shift the direction of your angle. Which can make it a lot easier to go straight from the purple platform to the checkerboard. That's kind of the main goal. Yeah, I don't know, that feels possible. That definitely feels possible. I want to know more of the Mr. Spring lore. Because, like, Mr. Spring's face doesn't have a shadow. Which kind of like... But neither does, like, any other objects. Which kind of, like, implies to me that his being is the spring. The face is just some kind of plastered on there. Like some kind of object is stuck to him. I mean, I don't know if any thought has been put into the Mr. Spring lore. Maybe it has. Maybe it hasn't. I don't know which is more likely. I'll have to ask the creators. Also might do some Mr. Spring 2D spring running. Because I suck at Mr. Spring 2D, like really suck at it. But if I practice enough, then you can get good at anything. With enough time. Enough patience. I mean, I used to be the worst at Mr. Spring 3D, but, you know, a couple dozen hours in now. Well, I wouldn't say I'm the best, but I'm pretty good. If I don't say so myself. I reckon we'll call the stream at 4:11, because 11 is 1 and 1. 1 and 1 is 2. 2 is half of 4. And that makes for a good time. I feel like this wind is going to be our biggest friend when it comes to Mr. Spring 3D super jump speedrunning. We're going to be completely reliant on this wind carrying us, which wind tends to do to small objects. I feel like it'd be good if they added like a big fan there or something. Just to like make sense of why there's just wind just out and about for no particular reason. Alright, alright. I feel like my consistency in super jumps is starting to wear off. That happens when I do it for too long. Practice makes perfect, but too much in short succession. My hands just get tired. Okay. Ah, not quite, not quite. Okay, didn't quite make it over. We'll see. Also, maybe next time I stream, I'll move my avatar to the other side of the screen, because covering the timer probably isn't ideal. Time is a pretty important thing, even if it is half a second off. I don't know how I feel about the music stopping when you pause. Because I get the idea of why, but it is very irritating to have the music stopping and starting very constantly. I don't know. 3 more attempts, and then I'm turning it off. For now. I'll come back, probably later today. I'm getting that down. Alright. Well, this has been a good stream today. We got a new world record, and we got a good time, and it went alright. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you probably later today, hopefully. Maybe not, maybe tomorrow. We'll see. Bye!